Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the story of how Olandria Carthen from Love Island, USA Season 7 went from being called a mean girl and receiving death threats to becoming one of the most praised celebrities at the 2026 Golden Globes. And it all came down to one moment on the red carpet that showed the world exactly who she really is. If you're a fan of Olandria, if you followed Nick and Olandria's journey on Love Island, if you remember the drama with Huda, Ace, Taylor, and Sierra on the dating show that took over summer 2025, you know this journey has been anything but simple. If you want to see how one viral Glambot moment can change an entire narrative, smash that like button right now, because this story is wild. Before we get into the drama, let me introduce you to Olandria if you're somehow not already obsessed with her. Born on May 29, 1998, Olandria Carthen is 27 years old and hails from Decatur, Alabama, where she earned the nickname Bama Barbie. At 5'3", she proves that big things truly do come in small packages, and her story goes way deeper than what you saw on Love Island, USA. What makes Olandria's story even more inspiring is that she's a first-generation college graduate from Tuskegee University, an HBCU, where she earned her bachelor's degree in logistics, materials, and supply chain management after initially planning to major in computer science. Before Love Island, she worked as a sales professional at Otis Elevator Company in Houston, Texas, which means this wasn't someone chasing fame from the start, but someone with a whole career already established. The announcement came on May 29, 2025, which happened to be her birthday, and Olandria became a cast member for Love Island USA Season 7. She entered the villa and eventually coupled up with Nicholas Vanstenberg, who everyone calls Nick, and their couple nickname, Olandria, quickly made them fan favorites if you were watching that season. When the season finale aired on July 13, 2025, Olandria and Nick placed second as runners-up. But here's a detail that becomes important later. Olandria was one of only 2 black women in the original cast. Keep that in mind because it's about to become very relevant to what happened next. During the season, a challenge called Standing on Business gave Islanders the chance to call each other out. And that's when Olandria and her friend in the villa, Shelly Basanth, confronted another castmate named Huda Mustafa. The issue revolved around Huda allegedly going too far with Shelly's partner, Ace Green, during the heart rate challenge. And if you watched these episodes, you saw that Olandria and Shelly stayed calm during this confrontation, without screaming or throwing things. The fan reaction came swift and brutal. Both black women got immediately labeled as mean girls and bullies, and then things escalated to a level that still shocks me to think about. Someone created one of the most disgusting memes imaginable by putting Olandria's face on George Floyd's body and Huda Mustafa's face on Derek Chauvin's. And if you don't understand how deeply offensive and traumatic that is, especially for a black woman, the words probably can't capture it. This wasn't internet trolling anymore. Olandria and her family started receiving death threats, actual death threats, over a reality TV show. And her Instagram followers dropped after these episodes aired, while the vitriol became so intense it overshadowed everything else about her time on the show. Variety published an interview on July 17, 2025, where Olandria opened up about what she was experiencing. Her words were direct. "It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I heard it was even a meme of me being George Floyd and Huda being an officer. That's a very touchy topic for the black community. It's disgusting, to say the least. I don't understand how you take a love show and make such a comment like that. I was even getting death threats. My family was getting death threats." Your family getting death threats because of how you were edited on a reality show about finding love creates an emotional toll that's almost unimaginable to process. When the Love Island reunion aired on August 25, 2025, Olandria wasn't backing down from anything. She confronted Huda directly about the racist harassment that had come from Huda's fanbase, and her exact words were, "Your face was not plastered on fucking George Floyd's body. Mine was, and I told you that. It was that bad. That shit hurts." She criticized Huda for not publicly addressing the racist harassment that was happening, and honestly, she had every right to demand that accountability. Shelley told Teen Vogue in August 2025, "We knew who we were in that villa. We know how much we showed up for every single person on that island, how well everyone spoke of us. So for us to come out of the villa and see that we're mean girls, we're like, mean girls where?" Olandria added her perspective. "To see our fellow islanders playing into that narrative was hard. It's like, you knew us. Why would you get out and let America, let social media get to your head?" And if you're enjoying this deep dive into what really happened, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we cover all the Love Island USA drama you won't find anywhere else. Appearing on the Keke Palmer podcast on July 22nd, 2025, Olandria talked about something that so many Black women experience, especially dark-skinned Black women in public spaces. She put it this way: "I truly feel like me and Shelley have to tone down a lot to not cross over that boundary, because a person that looks the opposite of us, as soon as they get emotional, it's like, oh, we're going to cater to this person. Like, bro, what about us?" Being a Black woman in public spaces means you're held to a different standard where you have to be twice as calm, twice as composed, twice as careful, and even then you still get labeled as aggressive or difficult. Extra TV interviewed her on November 4th, 2025, and Olandria explained where this composure actually comes from. "Even when I was younger, I always had way more to lose than people that I was kind of getting into it with. I had scholarships, I had awards, and I have all these things. So I couldn't really act out the way I wanted to because I had way more to lose than they did. So it kind of started at an early age." She's been training herself to remain composed under pressure since childhood because she understood the stakes were always higher for her than for others around. Instead of letting the negativity destroy her, Olandria started building something bigger. August 11th, 2025 marked her signing with Digital Brand Architects, an agency-owned management firm, and she got representation from styling duo Matthew and Reginald Reisman as her career started taking shape. Brand partnerships started rolling in fast. The Olandria Lip Kit launched with NYX Cosmetics in August 2025 and sold out in minutes, not hours, but actual minutes, which set the tone for everything that followed. Her partnership list grew to include Kulani Keeney's, Agua de Kiffer, Sweet Green, Amazon, Hyundai, Microsoft, Vaseline, Aveeno, Shea Moisture, EOS, Raising Cane's, DoorDash, Shark Beauty, Uber, and Liquid IV. Plus, she appeared in UGG's 2025 Fluff Mama Global campaign and the Reebok Angel Reese 1 campaign. September 12, 2025 brought Olandria's runway debut at the Sergio Hudson Spring-Summer 2026 show during New York Fashion Week, where she also attended shows for Off-White, Alexander Wang, and Theophilio, while gracing the covers of Harper's Bazaar Vietnam and Glamour magazine. The 2025 MTV Video Music Awards saw Vogue name her one of the best beauty looks of the night, and when the CFDA Fashion Awards came around on November 3, 2025, she wore custom Brandon Blackwood that Marie Claire declared one of the best looks of the entire event. November 4th, 2025 became a doubleheader when she attended the Glamour Women of the Year Awards in a Christian Siriano silk taffeta gown described as instantly iconic. And that same night, she received the Ebony People's Choice Award at the Ebony Power 100 Gala for being an influencer on their way to icon status.
The Route 100 named her on November 8, 2025, to their list of the most influential Black leaders, while Cosmopolitan's Z-Stars class of 2025 included her on October 20, 2025, and Ad Age praised her as one of the top 5 breakout creators of 2025 for taking a deliberate approach to transforming momentary fame into a sustainable personal brand. All of this happened within 6 months of leaving the Love Island villa, going from mean girl accusations and death threats to recognition as one of the most influential people of the year in half a year's time. That same Extra TV interview revealed Olandria's approach when she explained, "I took a different route. I didn't really go into the whole content creating thing. Not saying that it's bad, but like, it's just not me. I didn't want to be stuck in one box." She was intentional and strategic, understanding that the mean girl narrative was trying to put her in a box she had no intention of staying inside.
January 2026 brought what would become one of the biggest moments of her career so far, as Olandria prepared for the Golden Globes. Golden Eve came first on January 6, 2026, a pre-Golden Globes event honoring Helen Mirren and Sarah Jessica Parker, where she wore a 7 de Jana gown with green embroidery that generated approximately 35 posts and over 17,000 engagements. The Golden Hour dinner at Nobu followed on January 9th and generated approximately 56 posts with 30,713 total engagement as people used the hashtag #OlandriaXGoldenHour, while anticipation kept building.
January 11th, 2026 arrived with the 83rd Annual Golden Globes at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. Olandria showed up in an emerald green silk corseted gown by Christian Siriano featuring a trumpet silhouette with a dramatic flared skirt and a boned bodice with a layered neckline, accessorized with diamonds from A.J. Yaffe earrings, an Annabella Chan ring, and an Anaya collar necklace, while her hair was styled in a chic twisted chignon. Here's a detail I absolutely love. Her makeup featured what they called a supermodel lip using brown tones, and she used products from her own NYX Cosmetics Olandria collection, specifically the espresso lip pencil with spiked toffee and lava cake glosses. She was literally wearing her own brand on one of the biggest red carpets of the year, which is just chef's kiss perfect.
The Glambot is this slow-motion camera setup that celebrities use on red carpets at major events, started in 2016 for E! Entertainment and run by director Cole Walliser, who has 5 million Instagram followers and 12.6 million TikTok followers as of late 2025. When Olandria stepped up to do her Glambot, something beautiful happened that nobody expected. She held Cole Walliser's hands, introduced herself to him, engaged in actual conversation with him, and asked him for tips on how to use her limited camera time effectively, which seems simple but meant everything in context. The video went viral, but not for the reasons the mean girl narrative would have predicted, because she was praised for being gracious, kind, and humble. Social media commenters called her demure and said things like, "Jennifer could learn a few things from her," and "See, J-Lo, that's how a human behaves." And according to one source, though this isn't fully verified, the video hit 3 million likes.
Olandria's Glambot moment happened the same night as Jennifer Lopez's Glambot moment, and that's where the story gets really interesting. J-Lo's video received over 35 million views on TikTok, but for very different reasons than Olandria's praise. Because people criticized J-Lo's interaction as appearing rude when she seemed not to engage with Cole Walliser and faced away from him during the setup. The public immediately started comparing the two women, and Olandria came out looking like absolute royalty in the comparison. Now, to be fair to Jennifer Lopez, Cole Walliser defended her afterward between January 18th and 19th, 2026, explaining that Glambots are completely elective, that red carpets are insane and chaotic, and that J-Lo had arrived after the carpet was closed while rushing. Her starting position had her facing away from him, and he said we were just getting through it, and it didn't feel rude in that moment, which provides important context.
The contrast was already done, though. Olandria had shown the world exactly who she is: gracious, kind, humble, and the complete opposite of the mean girl narrative that had been pushed about her for months. And speaking of showing the world who you are, if you haven't already liked this video, what are you even doing? The like button is right there, just sitting there, feeling lonely. Random people on social media weren't the only ones who noticed Olandria's moment. Priyanka Chopra spoke about Olandria on the red carpet that night. Olandria, when I just saw her right now, first of all, she looked amazing. She looked incredible.
Plus, she's so beautiful. It was really nice, and she's so brave, too. I love her. Priyanka Chopra, a global icon, praised Olandria for not just her beauty, but her bravery, which carries serious weight. Marie Claire featured her lip combo, while multiple outlets praised her look and her presence, describing her as having quiet confidence that cut through the usual award show noise. Comments included the People's Princess, Motherlandria, and Iconic, all capitals, exclamation points everywhere.
Why does this matter so much that I'm making a whole video about a Glambot moment? Because this is about more than just being nice to a cameraman. And if you think it's just about red carpet etiquette, you're missing the entire point. This is about a black woman who was vilified, harassed, and threatened simply for existing on a reality TV show. A woman who was labeled difficult and mean when she was actually just standing up for herself and her friend. Instead of shrinking, instead of disappearing, instead of letting that narrative define her, she showed up as herself, fully herself, gracious and kind and strategic and powerful all at once. On the Go Off Sis podcast, she said, "When I was on that show, I knew I was representing more than just myself."
Her Ebony interview went deeper. Growing up, I didn't always see women who looked like me being uplifted in mainstream media, especially on shows like this. So to hear young girls say they felt seen because of me, that's the real win. That's what this is actually about, representation and showing young black girls, especially dark-skinned black girls, that you can be yourself, you can stand up for yourself, you can demand respect, and you can still be gracious and kind and successful. Harper's Bazaar Vietnam got Olandria to talk about her approach to fashion when she explained, "Growing up in Alabama helped me develop a special love for dressing well. Southern fashion is beautiful. It's clean, sophisticated, yet still has personality. I love clothes that have a defined silhouette and a statement piece." Everything about Olandria is intentional, from her career choices to her fashion to how she interacts with people, because she understands that she's being watched and judged by different standards and has decided to use that to her advantage.
For those of you wondering about NYX Olandria, and I know that's probably why half of you clicked on this video, yes, they're still together. NYX confirmed in Kim Kardashian's TikTok vlog as of December 2025 that they had not broken up, saying, "No, I didn't. NYX Olandria for L," which means for life if you need that translated. January 2026 saw Olandria attend the Bridgerton Season 4 world premiere in Paris, wearing custom Raoul Mishra Fall 2025 couture, a black dress with floral artwork and a lace headpiece, continuing to show up and show out on international red carpets. When 2025 ended, Olandria posted a reflection on Instagram and TikTok showcasing her year with Love Island moments, magazine covers for Harper's Bazaar Vietnam and Glamour, red carpet appearances with Hollywood stars, runway walks, and moments with NYX, all compiled into one post. One fan commented something that really captures the absurdity of how fast this all happened. Biggest flex is most of this happened in 6 months. 6 months from Love Island runner-up to fashion icon, from mean girl accusations to People's Princess, from death threats to standing next to Priyanka Chopra at the Golden Globes.
Here's what I want you to take away from this story before we wrap up. The narrative that was pushed about Olandria was never true from the start, based on anti-black bias and the stereotype of the angry black woman and the idea that black women can't stand up for themselves without being aggressive. Olandria knew who she was, though. She said in an interview that she and Shelley knew how they showed up for every single person in that villa and knew the truth about themselves, even when the public didn't believe it. Instead of fighting the narrative directly, instead of getting into back-and-forth arguments online that would have fed into exactly what people expected, she did something smarter. She showed people who she was through her actions, through her grace, through her strategic career moves, through moments like the Glambot where her character was on full display for anyone paying attention. She didn't need to convince anyone she wasn't a mean girl because she just needed to be herself and the truth would come out eventually. Let me give you a bit more context about Cole Walliser, since he became part of this story in an unexpected way. Born on July 15, 1981 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, he's 44 years old now, with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from the University of British Columbia, which isn't the background you'd expect for someone running celebrity red carpets. Before he became the Glambot guy, his career included being a sponsored skateboarder and snowboarder, plus working as a hip-hop and breakdancing teacher who performed under the name Coleone, and he's directed music videos from Miley Cyrus, Pink, Katy Perry, and Laura Marano. The Glambot started in 2016 for E! Entertainment, though there's some note that director Joseph Kahn claims he created the Glambot methodology for the Bad Blood music video. Walliser has been the primary director and operator since 2016, bringing the Glambot to the Academy Awards, Grammys, Golden Globes, Emmys, and People's Choice Awards. January 2026 brought some controversy when a 2019 email exchange between Walliser and a bride-to-be named Yinka Animashan resurfaced publicly. The emails showed Walliser allegedly appearing dismissive about her ability to afford Glambot services, which range from $10,000 to $1 million, and the email included 5 money bag emojis suggesting doubt about her ability to pay. He faced backlash for appearing to look down on potential clients, and some people noted a possible racial element since both parties who complained about Walliser are non-white. The Glambot moment with Olandria might have carried even more significance given this context about how Walliser had been accused of treating people.
This story is still being written because Olandria is only 27 years old. She's been in the public eye for less than a year, and she's already accomplished more than most people do in a lifetime. She's proven that grace under pressure is not weakness, that being kind is not being soft, that you can stand up for yourself and still treat people with respect and dignity. The Glambot didn't change who Olandria was at all. It just gave the world a chance to see what the people in that Love Island villa already knew, that she's genuine, she's gracious, and she's exactly who she's always claimed to be from the beginning. The mean girl narrative was never about Olandria in the first place. It was about how society views black women when they dare to have boundaries, when they dare to speak up, when they dare to take up space in rooms where people don't expect them.
Olandria took that narrative and dismantled it piece by piece, not by arguing against it, but by being so undeniably herself that the truth became impossible to ignore for anyone watching. The next time someone tries to tell you that being kind means being weak, or that standing up for yourself means you're difficult, think about Olandria Carthen. Think about the girl from Decatur, Alabama, who became a first-generation college graduate, who took a chance on Love Island, who faced racist harassment and death threats, and who showed up to the Golden Globes in an emerald green gown and reminded everyone that grace and dignity and strength can all exist in the same person at the same time. That's the real story here. Not that the Glambot changed everything, but that Olandria never changed at all because she was always this person. The world just needed to catch up with what she already knew about herself. If you love Nicandria and you've been following this journey from the Love Island villa to the Golden Globes red carpet, drop a comment below and let me know your favorite Olandria moment from this past year. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we'll be following her career as it continues to grow, and I guarantee you don't want to miss what comes next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.